and welcome back to my channel. This video will be a little different from what I usually do because I'll be showing you how I shade hair and skin when I do gacha edits. So first I will show you how I shade hair, and then I'll show you how I shade skin, and I'll put the time where I start shading the skin in the description. So let's start with the hair. So first I'll show you the brushes I use to outline. So when I outline, I do the different outlines, like the different parts, the hair, the bow, the shirt, anything, the skin, on different layers. So you'll see everything on a different layer. I know it's not technically necessary, as I can just alpha lock the outline layer and then color it a different color, but this just helps keep it organized and it's easier for me. So as you can see, I've already created a layer that's called hair base. This will be the base color for the hair. Now to outline the hair, I use this brush. I use the Dip Pen Soft. It's just a very smooth brush. It is the first brush, but it is extremely smooth, as you can see, and it's very, the only word I can use to describe it is graceful, okay? The brush is graceful, apparently. So the first thing I do when I shade hair is I take the darkest color I can see on the hair with the eyedropper, and I put the picture in the corner of the character I'm editing, and then I drop the darkest color, not the outline, the darkest color on the hair. And then I'll just go in with this brush. I use this brush because it can be as big as 1000. That's the biggest size, so it's a lot easier to color in. Now I have to color this in by hand because there's spaces in between the lines. You can see there's spaces here and here. So paint bucketing it would be easier if these gaps weren't here. Alright, so I'm gonna color in all of the hair, and then I'll be right back once I finish doing that. Right, so I finished coloring in the hair completely. Some parts I did use paint bucket, like the strands over here and over here. But overall, I did most of the coloring in as if it were, say, a coloring book. So the next step in my editing process in my hair editing process anyways, is to create another layer above the hair base and call it hair shading. So I'll just do that here. Hair shading, there we go. Alright, so this part is kind of complicated. Not really, but it sort of is. You're gonna create a clipping mask, I think that's what it's called, over the hair base. Okay, this, if you don't know what this does, it pretty much just keeps you from coloring anything else except the hair. It is a very good tool, and there is another tool you can use. It's called Magic Wand. It's up here, and it pretty much does the same thing. So if you go here, let's take off the clipping mask. You can put this here, and then it does the same thing. But then you do have to, say, paint bucket everything. So, but clipping just makes it easier. So you're gonna take the color of the hair. Okay, simple enough. Make sure this is a certain thickness. This has to be a certain thickness. Pretty thick, I would say. Make it slightly darker and then slightly more yellow, or slightly darker and slightly more vibrant than the actual color. And you're just gonna do this. I am going to take the hard one. And how thick this is? That's pretty thick. Okay, and I'm gonna put on Force Fade. Force Fade, it makes it smoother. See, it points in the corner. And I'm going to take this and make sure, put a line up. I'm gonna draw a line here. Making sure it goes along this over here, the line over there. And then if you didn't messed up a little bit, it's easy, it's okay. Then you can erase anything you mess up. Oopsies, my bad. Okay, next step, just do that for every single layer, for every single strand of hair. It's a little bit easier to see it on what I'm doing here. Surrounding it. Erasing and surrounding. So you're gonna do this for every single hair strand. As soon as you finish the entire hair, you're going to grab the blur brush. Now you're not gonna put it up at 100%. you're gonna have to turn down the, I don't know what this, like the strength of it, I guess. You have to turn it down until you get to a strength that you like. And this, not all the way up either. We're gonna have to take this part of the shading in parts. So you're gonna shade this a little bit, so it's still visible, but it's blurred. And you're gonna do that for every single part here. Only going up and down, because if you go side to side, it starts mixing with the hair color. And then for this strand over here. And then that's pretty much what you're gonna do for the rest of the hair. Alright, so we are not done with the hair yet. I'm going to make another layer above the hair shading, and I'm gonna call it hair highlights. Highlights, I don't know if I spelled that right. Hair highlights. And we're gonna go in here and we're gonna search for one of my most favorite brushes. So here you can watch a video. It's like an ad, and you can get all these brushes for free, which is super cool because I use these brushes. I love using all of these brushes. They're very helpful when you're doing, say, hair, or when you want to put a pattern on the shirt. So I did this when I put the pattern on the shirt over here. There was a heart brush. Okay, so I'm gonna check this one. Okay. This one looks about right, but I think I might want to change to the round brush curve. Yes, that one is definitely the one I want to use. Okay, so we're going to do the highlights, as I previously mentioned. You're going to take the lightest color you see on the hair. Well, really the lightest color would be over here. I put the dark color and the light color on this character. So I'll take the lightest color, and I'm just going to shade. I put the lines up here. They look like this right now, don't worry. They're gonna look like this for right now. That's okay, you can go over them again and then make them brighter. I love this brush because there's so many little strokes in here. I don't have to do every single individual stroke. Alright, and there's the hair highlights. And then I make it a little bit transparent so it's not too harsh. And so you can still see the shading underneath. Because I worked hard on that shading, okay? I worked hard. And I think I might leave it at that. I might change the color a little bit with the filter tool over here. I might change it to like a yellowish over here, and then maybe make it a little bit lighter. Definitely a little bit lighter. More towards white, not pure white. Maybe there. That looks about right. And there you go. There you have hair highlights. Alright, now we can move on to the skin. So for the skin, I just take the color that is shown on the character that I made, and then I will bucket the skin color onto the character. Okay, now this skin color kind of, I want to say like clashes with the hair. I don't know. This skin color just does not look something is throwing me off here about the skin matching with the hair. So I might change the skin color a little bit. Alright, so this skin color looks a little bit better, so I'm going to keep that one. This was all done on one layer, on the skin base layer. I just need to make sure I didn't miss any spots. And I did miss some spots. Oh, I forgot to change my brush. Scrolling all the way up, going to grab the soft brush, which is up here. There it is. Felt tip pen soft. But the skin is underneath the hair, so it doesn't matter. Alright, I think we're good for now. I might have missed a few. I think I might have missed something, but it's okay. So next we're gonna do the shading part. Yay! I'm gonna call this layer skin shading. Alright, and we're gonna put a clipping mask on it. Next step, here is a part that seems a little bit drastic or extreme, but it has to be done. We're gonna take pure red, okay? Make it slightly pink, just barely. And you're gonna color this face. like that, okay? This is completely necessary, okay? It is completely necessary. I assure you. Whenever I do this, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? This poor girl. I'm giving her sunburn. Poor thing. Okay, the hands. No, do the hands need it? The hands need it. I think they need it. Yeah. Okay, the hands need it. I'm just gonna outline it. There we go. Put it around the edges. And do the same thing on the other hand. Just gonna put the red. But the thing is, this red is really pretty. This red is pretty. So I'm just gonna have to deal with it, okay? And I'm gonna put a little bit on the ears. All right, the next step after you do that is to, oh wait, I missed a spot here. Whoops. Is to take your blur at 100% all the way up, okay? For the face, you're gonna have to put it at blur 100%. There we go. Blur the neck. The neck is blurred enough right now. And then slightly blur the hands over here. I don't think I need the blur brush. I can always use Gaussian blur. But I just like this better. There. Here comes the fun part. The part that will make this make sense. Okay. You're gonna go to the skin shading layer and you're gonna turn the transparency down by a lot, okay? By a lot. And then you'll see you have this skin over here looking real nice and fancy. Check out this skin. Oh yes. You can blur it a little bit more if you want. But I'm gonna leave mine like this. Alright, the skin is still not done. Okay, this isn't the end of the skin yet. As you can see on the shirt, I put these little shadows over here along the sleeves and along the top of the shirt. You see these little shadows? I put this on the skin. I put these on the skin. I put it on everything except for the hair. So we're gonna go in and do that. I'm gonna go into my layer, my skin shadows layer, add clipping, and then we're gonna do that. So we're gonna take this color, the pink that we have created, and we're gonna make it slightly darker. So I actually have a skin color, I already have a shadow picked out for this. It's a color that just works. So we're gonna go to dip pen hard and we're gonna turn on, oh, force fade is already on. We're gonna turn on force fade. And it's okay if you don't get the color right on the first try. You can always change it later using the FX filter. So to put in these shadows, you basically put the shadows as if wherever the light is coming from. So in my edit, the light is coming from the top left corner, as I mentioned. So you're just gonna do that, pretty much. Just do this. And this doesn't get any blurred. This doesn't get blurred at all. So it is vital that these lines are as straight as possible. And here is the finished edit. Well, not technically finished. The hair and the skin is finished. Now this is the part I always leave for last, which is the face. But this is the end of the video. Oh my goodness, the end of the video, yes. If you want any more tutorials, I would be glad to give them. Just leave them in the comments. For example, how I made this bow that I am actually super proud of. Oh my gosh, what is that?